network, the floodgates were open, people came out in large numbers because they have been suppressed, oppressed, marginalized for 50 years, and they are against the practice of racism by UMNO. UMNO practices racism in this country, direct discrimination on the Indians. They have already been pushed to the wall, and they come out in large numbers to peacefully register their protest against the UMNO-led Barisan Nasional government.
On the issue of racism, there are a lot of people criticizing that Hindraf is actually racist in nature. They say that no, Hindraf and its objective, appear to be racist because it's based on one race and it's based on their problems. Why not take a more, why do you take such a communal approach? Poverty affects Chinese and Indians as well and other marginalized communities, not just Indians. So why wouldn't Hindraf on that stand, as opposed to just Indians being poor? What about other communities being poor? I mean, do you think should Hindraf take a different stand?
No, you see, I wanted to avoid answering this part, but since you asked me, I'm here to answer your questions. UMNO's racial mindset in Malaysia, UMNO's racial mindset has in fact spilled over to the opposition, spilled over to the NGOs, spilled over to civil society in Malaysia. In Malaysia, people have begun to think, even the opposition NGOs and civil society have begun to think that they try and play to the gallery. They try and, they don't go according to the seriousness of violations of human rights, the seriousness of the issues. They don't go by that, generally speaking. They go by what is politically, where they get political mileage. You see, Malays and Chinese form 90% of the population. Okay, you take the latest example of the Hindraf Peaceful Assembly. People were arrested, were beaten up, they were remanded for 3 days. Okay? The latest example, vis-a-vis the opposition and NGOs. And they were charged, immediately they were prosecuted, maliciously prosecuted. None of the other supposedly multiracial opposition parties, the NGOs, multiracial NGOs, the multiracial civil society, there was pin drop silence from them. Because the victims were Indians. Whereas before that, the Bersih rally, because it involves maybe 99% Malays, they were not remanded, they were not charged. Just before Batu Buruk, they were not remanded, they were not charged. They were arrested. They were arrested, but no remand, no charge. And before that, the Burma, 2 times the Burma rally, no arrest, no remand, no charge. You go behind that, the petrol hike and the toll hike protest, there was arrest but no remand, no charges. Khairi Jamaluddin protested against Condoleezza Rice's visit to Malaysia. There was no remand, there was no prosecution, no arrest. But the civil society and opposition parties did not condemn the racism by UMNO in picking on the Hindraf peaceful assemblies. Why you single out them? Why do you remand them for 3 days? Whereas the immediate previous 6 or 7 peaceful rallies, without police permit, there's no charge, no prosecution. The supposed civil society, supposed multiracial opposition parties, supposed NGOs in Malaysia, they don't condemn the UMNO-led government for their racism. They don't. So, to me, it's sad that in Malaysia, UMNO's racial mindset has spilled over to the opposition and NGOs. If you see the issue of temple demolishments, if only Anwar Ibrahim and Wan Azizah and Lim Kit Siang and Lim Guan Eng and Nasharuddin and also Hadi Awang, if only they condemn the UMNO government for demolishing temples at the rate of 3 weeks, 1 Hindu temple being demolished, they put up their foot strongly and tell Badawi, look, it is wrong, how can you ever go and demolish somebody's temple? I am sure the UMNO government will back off. But to these 3, DAP, PAS and Keadilan, they will lose Malay votes. So they do not want to make a stand. They do not want to make a firm stand. So to me, if at all, they should be more multiracial. These people should be, maybe I should not use the word racist against them. They should be multiracial. The temple in Padang Jawa that was demolished, Kula Segera moved the emergency motion. Why can't it be Lim Kit Siang? Lim Kit Siang is our leader. Lim Kit Siang is our opposition leader. He should move the motion because it is a national issue. It is not an Indian issue. By Kula moving, it is making it look like Indian issue. To me, even the opposition parties, they are playing to the racial gallery. Opposition parties and NGOs are playing to the racial galleries. The NGOs do not get funding from overseas to do minority Indian issues. So they don't touch it at all. And if you mind you, maybe about 60-70% of the major NGOs in Malaysia are led by Indians themselves. But they will not touch an Indian issue. They will not. They will fight for plantation workers, but they will not fight for the Tamil school in the plantation. They will not fight for the Hindu temples. Indians themselves, what more the non-Indians?